I think he needed to hear. And that he was, I was saying he was a good man, and that he was a brave man, and that he was lost, and that his parents were so proud of him.
This is a crime scene. Can we please clear the crime scene? Don't compromise the crime scene, please.
When the paramedics arrived, the bystanders were still trying to keep the young soldier alive.
You don't even think about it, right? You just do it. And time goes by fast. So every single person in that group had nothing on their mind, nothing but the welfare of that man.
Nathan Cirillo was declared dead at the hospital. As the terrible news spread, the RCMP and Ottawa police descended on the War Memorial, desperately searching for the shooter.
Guys, there is a shooter on the loose. Please move back. Please, we need you off the memorial.
By piecing together video from various sources, this is the incredible route the shooter took, trying to reach what apparently was supposed to be his next killing ground. Here he is, caught on amateur video, leaving the War Memorial moments after the shooting, returning to the car he'd just abandoned in traffic. It's hard to see on this video, but remember, he's carrying a rifle. After a U-turn, he's now driving towards Parliament Hill and stops right next to the East Block. Watch these three men who've apparently been following the chaos across the street. One approaches the shooter's car, quite possibly sees the gun, and all three of them flee. Then, on this security video released by the RCMP, you can follow the shooter as he crosses the lawn, hijacks a car waiting for an MP, then abandons it in front of the center block and walks towards the steps that lead into Parliament.
9:50. I know the time because I was late for a meeting.
Gretel Levy is a press secretary for the NDP. She and a friend happened to be leaving the building at that very same time.
A guard, or I don't, maybe a police officer, I'm not sure, somebody in uniform was yelling, "Get down, get down, get down," over and over. And we still stood there. And then someone, I don't know who, yelled, "Gun." And that's when we got down on the ground.
They were crouching next to the steps leading inside when she caught just a glimpse of his face. She says he had no expression at all, nothing that might attract attention.
Nothing struck me. He just seemed like your average guy.
But when she saw his rifle, she went into survival mode.
I just reacted and put my head down, and then my mind went totally blank. I mean, of course I knew that's the ramp that goes right into the big, beautiful brass doors in the middle of the center block.
At that moment, Gretel Levy realized two things: that behind those doors were some of Canada's most powerful people, including the Prime Minister, and that someone was about to walk inside with a gun. On Parliament Hill, Wednesday is caucus day, when party leaders meet with their troops in the center block.
Wednesdays are a day when all the MPs gather for their caucus meetings, so we go because it's a good time to get there.
Reporters like Josh Wingrove of the Globe and Mail come early to get quotes from the likes of Justice Minister Peter MacKay. The topic of this day, the killing of a Canadian soldier in Quebec by an apparent homegrown jihadi, ironically, just 2 days before.
Terrorism was top of mind, obviously, in the aftermath of Monday.
Josh Wingrove was around the corner from the center block entrance, writing his story, when he heard the bang.
I heard the first bang, and then came another bang, and subsequent ones.
Good job, everybody. Good job in the foyer.
Screaming, and I put my head around the corner, and you could see smoke in the air, you could smell gunpowder, you could see guards with their guns drawn.
Amidst all the chaos, Quebec MP Lisanne Lachette-Lamothe had just returned from maternity leave. She had brought her newborn son to the caucus meeting, who was breastfeeding him nearby when the shooting started.
everyone is yelling outside, and I didn't know what to do, so it just told me hide, and I went in a little phone booth, like 1 meter by 1 meter, really small thing, sit on the ground with the baby, and there I understood that there was something really wrong happening.
Her fear was that if the baby began to cry, the person with the gun might find them.
I just felt I need to keep him calm. I don't want him to panic because it would be worse. So when I thought about that, I just calmed down because, and I continued to breastfeed him in the little booth, in the dark.
It was about that time that Josh Wingrove turned on the video feature of his phone. It would be the definitive record of the armed attack from the Canadian Parliament.
I mean, it was surreal. It just happened so quickly.
Watch as he follows the security force up this hall, known as the Hall of Honor.
The way they're moving, on the left is a room for the Prime Minister. There'll be 200 senators and MPs in that room. And on the right is an AVP room. There'll be nearly 100 MPs in there. I mean, you know, but for a different term, that could have been where things ended.
The Conservatives had barricaded themselves inside the caucus rooms. British Columbia MP Bob Zimmer says they didn't know exactly what the threat was, but they resolved to do everything they could to fight it.
You want to be there, that if somebody's going to come in and try and hurt the people that are close to you, that you're not going to let them in easily.
It was a sentiment shared by the parliamentary sergeant-at-arms, former RCMP officer Kevin Vickers, who during the gun battle outside the Library of Parliament had emptied his pistol at the gunman, later identified as 32-year-old Michael Zahaf-Bibeau. He died less than 10 minutes after he shot Nathan Cirillo. But outside, in Ottawa, confusion and fear continued.
You have to leave, now!
As police moved to secure Parliament and the downtown core.
No, not right now. You see what we're doing?
This is an ongoing operation. We are asking members of the public to stay away from the downtown core.
For the next 10 hours, Parliament Hill, in the center of the city, would remain locked down, giving everyone time to reflect on how the life of Corporal Cirillo came to an end, what it all means, and if it might have been even worse.
It just hits home how quickly things can change, and I'm tired and I'm sad. It was a tragic day, and I don't know yet really anything about this soldier that died, and I find myself really wanting to.
You know, in life, you don't get to save your clap if you did something too often. But I'm really glad I did it. And I really hope he heard.
Next, Gillian Finley looks at how the authorities ignored the warning signs.
They had a high awareness of the kinds of threats that they faced.